Welcome to the TOG show. This week, you're going to get to watch me put a vent in my bathroom. The first step is to make sure we have all the right parts. We need a saw and some clippy ring things and some wire and some of this and the fan and the box and some other stuff. This particular fan is going to connect to the ceiling by attaching to the joist on one side like this. The next step is to cut a hole in the ceiling about where the fan is going to be. I don't know exactly where the joist is, but based on where the hole in the soffit that was there already is, I'm going to guess that it's about here. I'm cutting holes in my ceiling. Oh dear. After you sweep up the pieces of broken light bulb all over the floor, you can get back to cutting the ceiling. Actually, it's probably still good to have a mask and mask when you're doing this. It's a pretty good hole we got going here, but it's still not big enough to fit this fan into. We'll just have to keep making it bigger until it is. Ow! Occasionally, when doing this sort of work, you're going to stab yourself in the finger. But if you don't have band-aids around, it's no problem. Just get some toilet paper, get some duct tape, and voila! Custom band-aid! I finally got the hole big enough to put the fan in and snuggled the fan up in there. Now that it's in there, I'm going to put on the cover and see how it all fits together. Hey, wow, that looks pretty great, huh? Next, I'm going to need to go back into the attic to hook up the vent and put the screws in to hold the fan onto the joist. Of course, since my light bulb fell in and broke, the next thing I need to do is install a new light bulb. This time I'm going to use a cheap incandescent one instead of a fluorescent bulb. And to keep it from falling down again, I'm going to put this hook in the attic so that there's a nice thing to hook it onto. Like so. Of course, in order to put the hook in, we need a drill. I think I'm going to put the hook in right about here. That smells nice. Huzzah! I've moved out to the kitchen so that you, my viewers, can get a better look at what I'm doing. That's how important you are to me. I've already threaded this wire up into this box because we're not going to be able to do that once we hook everything up. I'm not totally sure how to go about twisting up these wires since this one's solid and these ones are threaded. But I guess I'll just sort of go like this and then solder them together and hopefully it'll hold up. Now I'm just going to put the final touches on my wires here by screwing on this cap. Alright, isn't that pretty? Now we get to test it out. Come on, red. We want you red. Oh yeah, the light bulb works. Now let's try black. These wires just barely fit in the socket here, so there's the fan. It works!
I put the fan back in and used a pencil to mark about where the screws are going to need to go into the joist. I hope that's right. I think that's like a little deeper. That should be deep enough for these little screws.
I got the screws put in, and the fan is hanging from the joist now. Now I have to attach the this tube. I'm going to use one of these thingers, like so. And I just slide this over this. Now I gotta tighten it up while holding it on here. Oops. Alright, here we go. I've straightened out this wire a bit. I'm gonna put it down into the wall and hopefully I can find it later. That can't be too hard, right? Next, I'm going to move this ladder back outside where I'm going to hook up the vent from under the soffit. I finally managed to get the pipe down over the other pipe, and I managed to get this collar thing around them both. So now I just have to tighten them up a little bit with a screwdriver here. And the vent is all done. Hooray! Now we're going to see if that bit of wire I put down into the wall can actually be found in there. I'm going to put the switch about here. This is my ground fault protected outlet. The sticker on the back says, "Attention, the load terminated, blah 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 blah. Read instructions prior to..." Actually, I already took this off. I'm just for demonstrative purposes. But anyway, behind that, there's a white. I assume that's where we put the white wire, and a hot. That's where we're going to put our black wire. Now I get to try to pull this thing out of this hole. Oh, well, here's the end of it. That makes it easy. Oh yeah! Now it's time to strip more wires. I've hooked up the black and red wires and ground. The white one's going to have to connect to the white one here, and either the black or the red one here is going to have to connect to both of these. And then the other end's going to have to connect to the GFCI thing. Soldering.